Munich police say about 250,000 people joined a rally protesting against the Islamic Republic of Iran as world leaders gathered nearby at the city's security conference. Protesters condemned last month's deadly crackdown on nationwide demonstrations in Iran, which human rights groups say left thousands dead. Some carried banners echoing pro-Trump slogans and held placards supporting the exiled son of former Shah Reza Pahlavi, who has urged the U.S. president to support the Iranian people at the conference. DW correspondent Michael Watzka is in Munich at the demonstration. He told us more about it.
This is not only the biggest demonstration in the history of the Munich Security Conference, but it might as well be one of the biggest demonstrations in Munich ever. You can see thousands of Iranian flags, but you can also see German flags, flags from the US, from Israel, from almost every European country. That's because most of the participants here hail from those countries. I've talked to participants from Hamburg and Cologne, but also from France, from Belgium, from Hungary. I've even talked to a woman who came here from Australia by plane. And people tell me they come with buses, with cars, with trains, just to be part of this demonstration of Iranian resistance against the regime in Tehran.
DW correspondent Michael Watzka in Munich. Earlier, the son of Iran's last Shah, Reza Pahlavi, directly addressed U.S. President Trump on the margins of the Munich Security Conference.
To President Trump, you've deployed a massive armada and have signaled unmistakably that brutality's time is ending. The Iranian people heard you say help is on the way, and they have faith in you. Help them, and history will record you alongside not just the Iranian nations, but the world's greatest heroes.
Let's bring in Sarah Bazubandi, a non-resident fellow at the Institute for Security Policy at the University of Kiel. She joins us from Tunisia's capital, Tunis. Sarah, again, about 250,000 people took to the streets in Munich today in solidarity with the people of Iran. Pahlavi was right there among the protesters. Does that mean all these people want the monarchy back?
No, it doesn't mean that. The Crown Prince has made that very clear time and again. He has no desire to become a monarch. He is merely accepting the Iranian people's call for him leading the transition of the governance system in Iran from this brutal regime that, as you also mentioned in your report earlier, that killed recently thousands of people. And this is not the first time that the Islamic Republic is committing such crimes against its own people in Iran. And he has promised time and again very clearly that he is willing to lead this movement to help toppling the Islamic Republic and hold free, transparent elections and leave it to the Iranian people to decide what form of government they are wishing to have.
Let's reiterate what you just said. He says he's ready to lead Iran's transition. Is that a good idea?
Look, we, in every authoritarian system, especially across the Middle East, North Africa, since the Arab uprising started, we had faced this problem of a vacuum of alternatives. What authoritarian systems do is they oppress, they eradicate any form of opposition, and when they are gone, there is a complete, absolute vacuum of leadership. Now, we have had this situation in Iran, therefore we have no other alternative inside Iran. The only viable alternative we have is him, and I think the reason that people inside and outside of the country have really called his name very clearly and threw their support full-heartedly behind him as the transitional leader is that in 2022, the international community, after the women's life freedom movement in Iran, let the Iranian people down. We heard time and again that this was a quote-unquote leaderless movement. And as long as there is no leader, there is no desire for changing the government. Now, Iranian people are proving the international community, they're proving the Islamic Republic itself as well that there is a leader. This is not a leaderless movement, and they are trusting him and they're trusting that he is capable of leading the transition.
Let's make sure that we sort of make some sense of the nuance that you're introducing here. Are you essentially saying that it's not so much that the people of Iran support him as an idea, as a person, as a leader, but he embodies change, and change is what they're looking for?
No, that is not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that in the absence of any form of free election, in the absence of any form of free right to assembly, in the absence of any freedom of media and expression, Iranian people are calling for this change. And only we will know what they actually will desire when we have this regime removed and we are able to conduct and to hold transparent, free election. Whether his name will come out of those ballot boxes after Iran is freed from the Islamic Republic is up to the Iranian people to decide. We have no means to know that at the moment, but what we are seeing today, 250,000 people coming with the Lion and Sun flag into Munich, it's a clear signal that people trust him as the leader of this movement.
How much influence can the diaspora actually exert on events inside Iran?
Well, the diaspora is now continuation of the voice of the people inside Iran who are heavily oppressed. People went into the streets, they chanted their desire, which is the downfall of this regime, and called Reza Pahlavi, the crown prince's name, as the transitional leader. Now, what they faced was brutal crackdown. It was military-grade weaponry deployed in the streets of the country. Thousands of people lost their lives. They can no longer sustain to go in the streets. Therefore, it's the responsibility of the diaspora, and the Iranians in diaspora took this responsibility full-heartedly to continue and to be the voices of the people inside Iran. We are not separated from one another. We are not two different worlds, two different realms. We are merely more privileged outside of Iran to be able to express our desire and to be continuation of their voices. And this is what we're doing.
Earlier, we heard Reza Pahlavi calling on President Trump to intervene. How do you view the idea of U.S. military involvement in Iran?
This is not just the Crown Prince's call. This is the desire of many Iranians inside Iran who have gone to peacefully demonstrate, to share their frustration and desperation with the current system in Iran, and they were treated by military-grade weaponry. All eyes are on the sky, and as Senator Graham put it yesterday in Munich Security Conference, the day after that we should be worried about is not the day after a military intervention in Iran, which would lead to the removal of this regime. Is the day after if President Trump promises that help is on the way and then he doesn't.
Our thanks, as always, to Sarah Bazabandi, security analyst from the University of Kiel.